Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. We are going to be doing a little something different in this video. We're going to be talking more about smaller stories or stories that may go under the radar within the world of football. Some transfer stories as well. Some more on the rumours side of things and all things like that. Something that either I'm not able to put into like a major video or talk about a lot of some of the lesser and smaller stories that go on within the world of football. They're all going to be clumped together in this kind of news roundup sort of video. So we'll see how it goes. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things always and forever appreciated. But for now that that's out of the way, let's get back to talking about some of today's headlines from today, past 24 hours, whenever really. Okay, so the first headline we're going to dive straight into is regarding Lautaro Martinez, the Inter Milan striker, and apparently he's a top target of Arsenal. Arsenal have been very active in this transfer window already. It's being said that they are looking to possibly add a striker to their growing collection of transfers. And the target in question, Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan. This is coming from The Athletic. They're reporting that Arsenal hold Martinez in high regard, but this possible transfer does sort of rely on whether or not Alexander Lacazette stays or goes this summer at the Emirates Stadium. We know of Inter's financial issues. We know that they will be open to selling a lot of their players given how they want to save a lot of money where possible. But despite this, we know that Inter Milan are also looking to buy players as well, and apparently that Inter are also interested in Arsenal's Hector Bellerin. And that is where the interest kind of stemmed from. This is where the inquiry was made during negotiations, allegedly, for Bellerin. Arsenal went on to inquire about the Argentine striker and his availability. We wait and see on both sides where things develop from here, whether things will develop further with Inter Milan for Bellerin, whether things will develop with Arsenal for Martinez. Martinez did score 17 goals in Serie A last season in 38 appearances. He also acquired 10 assists during that time as well to help Inter Milan towards their first Serie A title in 11 years. And it's also been reported on this story that Arsenal are not alone in their interest. There's said to be interest from Tottenham, who is said to be monitoring the situation, but that's more of a backup plan depending on what's going to happen with Harry Kane. Is Harry Kane going to be staying? Is he going to be going? Tottenham possibly see Martinez as a replacement for Kane should the English striker leave Tottenham this summer. And also it's being said that Liverpool are supposedly interested as well, but like I say, we wait and see on the future of Lautaro Martinez. We're going to stick with Arsenal for our next story, and it has been made official now. It is officially confirmed that they have completed the signing of Ben White, confirmed yesterday. White signs for Arsenal for a fee in the region of £50 million and signs a 5-year deal. The 23-year-old has definitely had a rocket strapped to his back since bursting onto the scene a couple of years ago whilst on loan at Leeds when they were in the Championship, and then he soared into the spotlight there. He impressed returning to Brighton in the Premier League. He definitely gained some experience there in England's top tier division and certainly did impress again, getting heavy praise from the likes of Marcelo Bielsa, the Leeds manager, admiration from Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp, who was allegedly a target of the Reds, and of course impressed Gareth Southgate further enough to obviously have him grant him his England debut and include him as part of England's Euro squad when Trent AlexanderArnold got injured. I did a video on this Ben White transfer story not too long ago, so if you want more of my opinion on this story, then go back and search for that video. But the bottom line here is that Arsenal have made their third signing of this transfer window, as you can add Ben White to the list that consists of Nuno Tavares, and Albert Sambi Lokonga. From one London club to another, we come to Chelsea. They've been a bit quiet and a bit inactive in this transfer window so far, but that could be about to end as the signing of Jules Kounde is allegedly edging closer to being a reality. According to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea are working to find a solution with Sevilla as soon as possible to sign Jules Kounde. He's the priority after personal terms agreed, and Chelsea want him to join. Kurt Zouma still being discussed in the deal, but Chelsea want it to go through it also if Zouma won't be included. Seems everything except a fee is pretty much in place between these two sides, all these parties that are involved for this signing to go through. It's just a fee that we're waiting on to be negotiated, and it seems that Zouma is going to be the man to make way one way or another for the new arrival. It was also said somewhere that West Ham were allegedly interested in acquiring the services of Zouma as well, so we're waiting to see on both sides again where either player will end up. Will Kounde eventually go to Chelsea? It does seem that that deal is heading that way, but what about the future of Kurt Zouma? Will he be going in the opposite direction, or will he be going somewhere else like West Ham, like we just said? Yeah, probably the right time for Zouma to move on, in all honesty. He's shown glimpses and he's shown flashes of what he can do. His injury that he picked up a few years ago certainly didn't help his development, and maybe it's time for both parties to kind of move on. And with Kounde coming in, of course, he seems a highly rated centre-back. Looks a very good deal for Chelsea to get over the line, should they get it over the line here. Elsewhere, Scottish football returns this weekend. The return of Scottish football basically means that we are getting closer to the return of European football as a whole. All European leagues set to kick off and return for a new season very, very soon. Within the coming weeks, of course, Scottish football just gets ahead of everybody on that score. Rangers kicked off their title defence with a brilliant 3-0 victory over Livingston as Steven Gerrard's side got off to the perfect start of the defence of their Scottish League title, while Celtic will look to bounce back from their Champions League exit from midweek when they face Hearts tonight. I don't follow Scottish football religiously, got to admit that. I don't follow it religiously, but because it's Steven Gerrard and because from the outside looking in, Rangers seem like a cohesive unit more than any other team in Scottish football right now. Rangers are my pick for the title again this season. Question is, will it be another invincible season? I can't say on that score, but we're waiting to see. But yes, Rangers have kicked off their title defence in the perfect start. A 3-0 victory over Livingston, and they are my pick to win the Scottish League title this year. Moving back to Arsenal for our next story. This one centres around midfielder Granit Xhaka, who seems now to be staying at the Emirates for the foreseeable future. It seemed that we had seen the last of Granit Xhaka when the momentum began snowballing over reports that he was set to be off to Italy to join up with Jose Mourinho at his new club Roma. However, after failing to make a suitable bid, talks have seemingly died down there and the interest has seemingly been extinguished. And it now seems that the Swiss midfielder is set to stay at Arsenal and is also set to possibly gain a new contract in the process. He's said to be a big part of Mikel Arteta's plans still, despite obviously it seemingly looking like he was out the door at the Emirates this summer. But he seems to be sticking around for a while. The midfielder has constantly divided opinion since his arrival at the Emirates, and there have been a number of events and issues that have surrounded him, and he's been at the centre of that. He hasn't exactly helped his case, and a lot of them to win over the Arsenal faithful. But after a decent display in this summer's European Championships for Switzerland, it seems that he will be staying with the club. The 28-year-old's current contract runs until 2023, But we will wait and see what the future holds for one Granit Xhaka. And finally, another new deal for a player coming from Liverpool, surprisingly. They've been very inactive this summer, with the only exception being, of course, Ibrahima Konate, who was brought in right at the beginning of the transfer window. But since then, it's been a lot of rumours, a lot of reports, a lot of interest and speculation surrounding certain players, but nothing concrete, nothing in terms of a bid being made, nothing really exciting going on at Anfield. But yesterday, the news did come out that Trent AlexanderArnold has signed a new deal with the Reds. Trent signed on the dotted line yesterday, confirming his stay with the Reds, a deal that is said to have ran until 2025. Good move for Liverpool, tied down some of their big and key players. There are reports that Alisson is next, Fabinho somewhere down the line, and fingers crossed the Jordan Henderson saga can obviously be resolved in the very near future as well. But in saying that, a new signing or two wouldn't go amiss here, Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? Something exciting, something interesting to get me really buzzed and hyped up for the new season. Just saying, that's all. And that just about wraps it up for this video. These are, of course, the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, this guy on these particular news stories and topics, or whatever you want to call them. I'd love to know what you guys think. What do you make of any of the stories that I talked about in this video? I know that I focused a bit more on Arsenal, but there's a lot of news coming out of Arsenal in regards to what I've talked about. I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, on any of the news subjects or anything that I talked about in this video. Would love to know your thoughts on that. Otherwise, hit that like button on the right if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you all again soon in another video.